Please don't fall. Don't fall. Just don't fall. Okay. Okay. So, as you guys see from the title, I'll be talking about the movies that made me want to read the book. I have those kinds of moments na I watched the movie and I can totally see it on the credentials part na it's either they're based from a novel. Wait. I'm actually getting nervous about this. I don't know why. I'm just talking to you, chit-chatting about the movies that I really loved, that I really liked. I guess it's just that it's been a while. Hey! That it's been a while since the last time that I filmed a video. As far as I remember, the last video that I filmed was a book review. I'm pretty sure it's a book review. I can totally remember that there's a Wattpad logo on the thumbnail. So I'll just put it somewhere here if you guys want to see it, or if you guys haven't seen that, just in case. By the way, if you're hearing, like, if you heard a voice, like someone talking on the background, like someone else, that's my little brother. He's on the other side of this room. I think he's playing Mobile Legends. I'm not sure. Basta he's playing an online game. I'm not so sure about his games or stuff. So yeah. And by the way, if I'm looking here, I'm looking at my notes. I tend to forget things kasi, especially names. I tend to forget names. I'm looking at my notes. Like, it's just a note about when it was released, when it was premiered, or when it was released. Basta yun. And then I also put the names of the actors and actresses who starred on each movie. So let's get into the video na kasi I've been babbling. So first, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Like, I haven't read the book yet. Like, I've totally seen the 2005 version of the movie that I watched. Like, I just watched it this year. It was around May because I saw the recommendation from Emmy Reads. If you guys know, she's my favorite booktuber, and I also follow her on her IG. So she's really an angel. She's cute and she's lovely. Okay, back to the movie. Like, the movie was so good. I'm not sure about the book. I still haven't read the book. As you can see, it's still sealed. It was starred by Keira Knightley and Matthew McFadden. I'm not sure how to pronounce the names. If I pronounce their names wrong, please do correct me, because I'm bad at it. Basta, I really loved the movie. It was so good. Everything was so good. Even the writing. I really loved the writing. Well, even though the volume of the movie was a bit small? Or is it just because of the video? I think it's just because of the video. That's why I was having a hard time in adjusting the volume of the movie while watching. But good thing there's subtitles. But I'm really planning to read this before the end of the year. Not sure if I can totally do that because I'm still stuck with Wilkie Collins' Moonstone. I've been reading that. Like, after I read the first half, I suddenly have this reading slump. Like, just suddenly in the middle of. Because the version that I've got of the Moonstone is. Okay, I didn't bring it. It is downstairs. Is the Barnes and Nobles edition, and the font is so small. Like, it's freaking small. Like, it makes you want to have a reading glasses. Like, it makes you want to have a reading glasses for the rest of your life. Something like that. And then the spacing is also like, dude, like, I think the words are getting. Basta, I kinda don't like that kind of edition, especially the letters, because it's too small. Like, it is too small. Like, it's already small, but then the spacing is also small. Like, I'm not so sure what they're trying to do with the readers. So yeah, I hope that this edition is good. I do hope. So I think I'm gonna make a different video, like a short clip of me opening this, because I also made one. It was with my If We Were Villains copy. Yeah, it's on my IGTV and my Instagram, mystery.reader. Just look at it. Just feel free to stalk me there. So yeah, Pride and Prejudice. I highly recommend the movie. Watch the movie if you haven't yet. It's so nice. Everything's so nice. The cinematography, everything. It's so nice. Even the cast is so nice. Not gonna regret it watching. Okay, next is Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. I only watched the Treasure Planet, the one that's from Disney. It's a sci-fi animation adaptation of this book. It's so nice. Like, instead of the mainland, instead of a literal land, like, they're living in a planet. Like, it's also the same like Earth, but it's not Earth. Yeah, it's not Earth, because there are still other living creatures there that aren't humans. Like, they're this dog-like human form, kind of species. I'm not sure. Kind of species. I'm really not sure about the terms of those creatures, those living creatures. I'm not so sure about their terms, but it's just so cool. Like, that movie is also my dude's favorite movie. It is one of his favorite Disney movies. I haven't read this yet, but I'm planning to. After I'm done with The Moonstone, I'm planning to read this. Well, this is literally my next read. After I read The Moonstone, after I finish it, I'm gonna read this now. Kasi I've been curious on what the story is really like. Kasi sci-fi yung sa Disney eh. Sci-fi-ish. Yeah, sci-fi siya. But then the original story is about islands specifically. So, yeah. So nice. They have this same kind of animation sa Atlantis. Was it Atlantis? I think it was Atlantis. Atlantis and Anastasia. Somewhat similar to those animations or graphics. So, yeah. And then, next is Peter Pan. Peter Pan by J.m Barry. The first one that I've watched was also the Disney film. I think it was released, yeah, it was premiered in 1953, and the second one was the live adaptation, and it was premiered on 2003. Like, dude, I think a lot of us have this huge crush on the kid who portrayed Peter. Like, dude, he's so cute. He's so freaking cute. Like, those eyes. Those eyes. Like, if you guys have observed, like, dude, the camera, like, literally many times, the camera focuses on Peter's eyes. And it's so cute. Like, it's like his eyes speaks louder than his mouth. Something like that. Like, his eyes shows a lot of expressions. Like, it's deep, and sometimes there are times that I'm afraid that I might get lost into those eyes, or maybe drowned or something like that. Well, you'll get my point. And it is also starred by Rachel Hurd-Wood, the girl who portrayed Wendy. She's also cute. Both of them are so cute in the film. Like, I know. We all have a huge crush on Jeremy Sumpter. Don't deny it. Next is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. We watched this at the cinema. Well, it was just premiered 2 years ago, 2018, and it is starred by Ty Sheridan and Olivia Cook. Who's this? Dude, now I don't know what I wrote. Is this Cook wrote? No, I don't even understand my own writing. I really have to work on my writing. Listen, it's so cool. Everything, the CGIs, those effects are so cool. The animation, everything. It also gives this nostalgia. The movie also made me cry. I mean, I teared up. Like, not like, it's not a ball, but I cried. But then, after watching the movie, it was only at that time that I realized that it was a book. Like, after watching it, like literally after going out the cinema, there I realized that it's based on a novel. And then, well, I've been seeing this book sa National Bookstore for how many times, but then I ignored it because I was reluctant because of the cover. Don't be like me. There are times that I really judge the book by its cover. Kasi there are times na I was intimidated kasi rin by the cover. Kasi the cover is really sci-fi-ish, and that was also the time na I'm not really into sci-fi kasi I was afraid by the jargons or the terms na I wouldn't know. Like, di ko talaga alam yung mga words nun. So, yes. But then I'm starting to love sci-fi. Yeah, I'm starting to love sci-fi because of this, and also another book that I'm gonna be mentioning later. Kasi it's also one of, yeah, I'm considering it na it's also one of the books na it is also one of the movies that made me read the book. So, okay, next is Angels and Demons by Dan Brown. Like, dude, this one is action-packed. The movie is really action-packed. I first watched the movie when I think I was in grade school when I first watched the movie on TV. I really loved it. It's controversial at some point because the story also involves about the election of the one like yung sa Pope, like who will be the next basta yung may, election rin yung Pope para sa position na parang head, something ganon. Somewhere there. And I think there was a Pope there na was doing some dirty tricks just to be chosen or elected as one of the head, like to be one of the higher position sa Vatican something. I'll just read it for now. They embark on a frantic hunt through sealed crypts, dangerous catacombs, deserted cathedrals, and the most secretive vault on earth, the long-forgotten Illuminati lair. So yeah, I think that was it. So there was something that against the Catholic Church, something like that. It's that kind of story. So it's so cool. The movie is so cool. Like, it's starred by Tom Hanks. Like, he's a really good actor for me when it comes to portraying Robert Langdon, because it's exactly how I imagined Robert Langdon and how I also imagine how he would act on solving the crypts and all. So yeah, it really suits him. Like, Tom Hanks suits the Robert Langdon role, so it's so good. I also watched the other Dan Brown movie adaptations. I also watched his Inferno. I watched his Inferno with my dad because he knows I love Dan Brown. And then I also watched, what was that? I watched every Robert Langdon movie. So